Yeah, I think I want that one. Cool, glad I looked. We back? Yeah. Connection's bad today. Connection's very bad today.
Come on, have some fun.
Okay, that's 96. RP stock's now a little bit better than before. Thank you, Asa. It's a very helpful resource. Morning, Snowspawn. How are you? It's very amusing how hard Barkenstein gets bullied at C100, by the way, if anyone hasn't seen it. Because, like, sure, his health went up, but also our ability to boost the shit out of our melee formula, now that we can get good gear, has gone up. So, it just kinda gets memed. It's very ugly. Pretty good, having a ton of fun with Thunderlands, Chaos Climb, geared on my dead shot. Let's go. Love to hear that. Purple orbs a percentage of the max health delta's damage? No. At least I'm fairly certain it's not. Shooting Bark's weak spots deals melee damage. Like, they have a proper base damage formula? Yes, and melee is part of their formula. Your melee. And you can make melee-related things happen. So, for example, Alchemical Agent, if it crits. I don't think it's percentage of boss health. It might be. I can't say with certainty that it's not, but I don't think it is. Thank you, Skeep. How survivability affect with the increase, same principle as C50. Enemy damage on C100 is completely identical to enemy damage on old C50, with the exception that two bosses had their damage nerfed at the same time. So Wastard and Nightmare do less at C100 than they did at C50. Old C50. Otherwise, enemy damage has not gone up one single bit. You'd ask how long it'll take for me to get to 40, and right now I'm 32. I mean, character level 40? That depends on how fast you go get XP. I'm not in your game. I couldn't tell you. Not that long. A couple hours. Just do side quests. Do side quests, get your collectibles. Remember, your collectibles... If you look here, I haven't even done them all on this character. Like, I haven't done the marbles or the poetry, so I'm missing out on stats. I could be doing more damage and have shorter spell cooldowns. But getting collectibles gives you all these permanent stat buffs for your characters, depending on which kind you get. It's worth doing, and you get XP in the process. Claw Stabbo. It's a claw. I could test out a claw. I'd have to do some magic to that one to change it, but... Meh. It's so cool just hitting a troll once and then being able to walk away, like knowing it's gonna die. I figured out how you could emulate Wonderland's melee weapons BL2. The only thing to be missing is attack speed differences. Let someone figures magic on how animation speed can be changed with an attribute. Any attempt to actually do it, the idea sounds very possible. Ooh, it'd be cool to see a demo of that. You do amazing things with modding. Do you want a Tails playthrough? Yes. I don't know how close to the release of the game I'll be doing it, but I do plan on doing it. It's one of those things, though, there's like not... It's not a gameplay game, it's a story game, so it's lower in my priorities because of that. And also, a lot of people will be doing it, so... I may hold off until it's less saturated. Haven't decided. Turn the relic slot into a melee weapon slot. That sounds like a good time. That sounds like a really good time. Meanwhile, Petty Tantrum drops and just... It's not a good time. Like, why are the stats so bad? The swing speed and both of the crit stats are terrible. And it's non-Ellie. And the base damage is pretty mid. And the targeting on the tantrums themselves is not intelligent. Like, I just want to know what that weapon is for. Ancient Deity worth using? Not really. It's better than, like, a bad ward. But is it good? No. It is regular old elemental damage, which is a category it's pretty easy to saturate in other areas. And it even makes you less tanky. Like, it lowers a resist. It's not great. Its parts flexible, at least. You get a lot of helpful stuff on it. You know, brimming vagabond fleet. That kind of shit. Morning, Tom Nasty. How are you? I intentionally took way more hits from Borkanar there than I needed to, and survivability is not a problem. Hey, Gas Mask. Hope you're well. I still haven't gone to do Arrow Wyvern. Fuck. Where is Arrow Wyvern? I need to do it before it gets replaced. That's a 3-charge bow with crit chance? Hello? Hang on. I have another bow that's not as good as that one, I think. Oh, that one has extra projectile. Shit. Okay, Hammer and Anvil, you're getting cut for now. I can go too, because I need to have a space. Desert up to the left of Obstacle. Thank you. Yeah, I'll have to do that as soon as we hit 100. How's C100? C100's good. We're still climbing there on this particular character, but I have played C100 with a couple setups, and it's a good time. A cool thing about the way they redid the Chaos system is I don't feel any pressure to get to the C100. I'm gonna get there on most of my builds. I'm just not in a rush. Elective difficulty and farming as a whole, just gear acquisition, feels so much better in the game as a whole, as long as you're C50 or higher. Just feels good. This is really good. Area ability melee crit chance is arguably perfect for Dreadwind. That's arguably perfect Dreadwind passes. The thing is, it's Stabo Burn, not Burst Stabo. But that's really good. Big ass Wyvern wants of help. I know what it is, Moonface. I was just asking where it is. Unless you're responding to someone else. Ah, Snow Spawn. Ah, Snow Spawn want to know what it is. It's a enemy in one of those dungeon areas, overworld encounters. It's a wyvern with a lot of health, but it also has a lifesteal attack. It has a lifesteal attack. Meaning, during playthroughs, it gives some people a lot of trouble. On my Graveborn playthrough, I had to LOS it, and I had to Dire Sacrifice, like on cooldown. I had to take cover, so it didn't heal back. Similar to Gigatron events. Yeah, they've been doing that. This is the 6th week we're going into of that event. And whatever 2 enemies they boost for the week are given additional dedicated drops and higher drop chances overall. Which you think dedicated farmers would care about, but no, they're too busy pretending that event isn't existent. Perspective. Took me about 30 minutes to kill that wyvern with the melee build. Lazy, how long did Blunder take for that? I didn't happen to actually see it, but you mentioned it yesterday. About 20 seconds? Beautiful. Blunder is a nightmare. Truly built different. What is Blunder? Blender is Lazy's Frost Shiver. True melee Frost Shiver. You run up to things, you bonk them in the face, and things die. In fairness, dedicated farmers made the game harder. They aren't familiar with the concept of lowering their optimal difficulty to make it easier. But they made the game easier on the difficulties they already have, so the game was literally made easier. Highest DPS in the game, fight me on it. Highest practically applicable DPS in the game, for sure. There's, like, shenanigans and RNG hoops that allow you to get higher, but in terms of practical DPS, Blunder's up there. Like, Blunder's not going to beat out Spirit Swarm nonsense. But you don't need it to, because it just kills the enemies before Spirit Swarm would even get the ramp. So, like, practical damage. Because of the mechanics of things like Spirit Swarm, Barbaload, and Plague Storm, you can take those up a theoretically infinite number of Chaos Tiers, provided you get encounters that have enough enemies that you can dot properly, and that you can actually bounce between. So, for example, provided you aren't in pure single target, a Blight Caller has infinite clear potential. Blender isn't infinite, but it is powerful enough to say that it's, like, the practical leader until absurd levels that aren't possible without modifying the game. And it does so without any RNG hoops. Like, to do the infinite clear potential stuff for Blight Caller, you need a chance on a chance on a chance on a chance. continuously. Whereas Blender is just walk up, hit button, enemy die, move on. So, like, if you know BL3 theory of crafting, it's like Minesweeper versus anything else. Yeah, sure. Technically, Minesweeper beats everything. Given enough time. And enough RNG. Imagine if I used, Buffmeister plus Death Bug Armor. Pain. Hey, Will, thank you for the 2 years. 2 years. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the long-time support. Means the world. Oh, my connection's shitting the bed again.
2 yaos.
Nice text-to-speech. Sneezes. Allergies. Ugh. Oh, there's so much potential in it too. Yeah, you can take Blender up to truly ridiculous heights. Like if you ran Buffmeister Mosquito there, yeah. You would be doing crazy things. Builds perform better to me than the Frost Shiver build for melee. This build has range. It's got easy access to range, which is nice. I would not say overall it performs better than like a Frost Shiver style thing, but it's a different playstyle, so I think they're a little incomparable. There, Conium. How's the stream going? It's going well. Almost 100? Yeah. I'm locking 98 right now. What's my spell crit chance? So, like, I might want to, go for a crit chance part on an Empowering Sigil, so I get better, like, more consistent Exi Blades. From it. But I lose either radius or cooldown, so I don't think that's a 1-to-1 upgrade. To think about it. Hammer throws on bosses. We have not found a boss we can't one-shot yet. Beautiful. I think so too. This build is particularly funny against Wastard. I just love bullying Wastard. Even Miss Maker. I wasn't including raid bosses in that, but it does okay against the Maker. I need to have some different gear options because of the mechanics of the build. but I was referring to normal bosses. Barkenstein gets memed. Bunny Dog gets memed. Gloop takes a little more thought, but ultimately isn't too big of a deal. Maker's a little more awkward. Maker's actually tanky. Now at C100, like tanky. Something like Blender still chews through it. Spirit Swarm, with appropriate setup, still chews through it. But more unconventional setups like this that get their sustain through like one burst at a time, let's put in a little more thought. Basically, for Maker bossing, I need to either figure out a consistent way to enable my Curse Wit without killing myself, or I need to switch to like a Spirit Rune. And I also need to make better use of my spell slot. Run like a Fortifying Sigil for the heal and the damage. Because nothing in the Maker fight does damage to your wards. It is all health damage. So you can't break your ward. Unless you do it to yourself. There you go. See the low shields, actual curse what you're showing in Discord? Yeah. See? Level 15. Fairly easily obtainable. Is there a difference between empowering and fortifying? Yes, totally different effects. Fortifying is a bigger dome that remains on the ground, also has a much longer cooldown. Also does less damage and has a much lower status effect. It heals you and gives you a damage buff while you're inside. Empowering sigils are shorter duration, shorter cooldown, have the highest spell dot available in the game, can instantly freeze enemies, do constant novas, follow you around, give you damage reduction. Like they're very different effects. Beyond them having a protective barrier in some capacity, they're completely different. Except for what elements they can roll, I suppose. That's also a common thread. I've used Curse Wits and sort of useless until now. What I used for and been told. So it's not that it was ever useless, it's just that enemy HP did not require the damage offered by it, and the downsides of the Curse Wit often outshone the outweighed the downsides of other things. So, for example, Body Rune, no downside except you have to kill things. But now that time to kill is longer, Curse Wit bonus is available sooner. They also did a bug fix to make Curse Wit not turn off under a wide variety of circumstances it wasn't supposed to turn off. So it's less buggy. And enemy damage, on the whole, went slightly down. Even at max difficulty, remember, 2 bosses were nerfed, so enemy damage is equal or lower, depending on how you look at it. Talking shield, instant trash. I just kind of tune it out, but that's fair. That is fair. Well, the sheer variety of spells in this game and how all of them have their place in different builds. Spell variety is crazy good. I saw someone the other day saying we only use 3 spells at endgame, and I was like, question mark? Like, question mark? Bad Egg's still goat? Bad Egg's still awesome. Bad Egg would be able to do exactly what the Curse Wit is doing for this build, if you didn't want to deal with Curse Wit. You'd even get the nice movement speed, which is good. Bad Egg can get 2 augments, Curse Wit can only get 1, so that's another case for Bad Egg. Crit Connoisseur. Yes, please. This boss gonna get deleted. Oh, it's LeChance? I'm so sorry, buddy. Oh, no. What's the whole it stays thing? I mean, Curse Wit used to turn off under a bunch of circumstances that the game didn't tell it to turn off under. Now it stays. Oh. Bye, LeChance. Hey, Pascaroni, thank you for the 5 months. I appreciate it. Means the world. How are you today? A little annoyed with my ISP, but
thanks for another month of fun.
thank you so much, Pascaroni. Yeah, a little annoyed with my ISP. Oh, they're being a bit of a shit today. But other than that, doing well. This blank slate is almost the holy blank slate. Ability level +2 with all damage is the blank slate. I still think it's a shame that this doesn't scale with Chaos Tier in any way. Like, it was almost decent at C20, and then as everything else has gotten better, it stayed the same. Bit of a shame. He's smiling. You got this? Thanks, I appreciate that. 3 spells, enemy game's true. There's Empowering Sigil, and Empowering Sigil. You're not wrong. Really hope I get that plate mail I've been looking for. I want to test that. Head of the Snake? Nope. Stormclaw. I picked up one with better stats already. At least I'm getting a bunch with the... Hey, there it is. There it is. Doesn't have area damage or melee crit chance, but that's a start. That is what I wanted. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of armors matching the exact class combo I want today. That's welcome. Aw. Right combo, no aw. Sad. So, like, weird thought. Do you guys think that, optimal Wyvern damage might be Clawstalker taking from the shadows just to make it crit for Mosquito? Is that silly? It sounds a little weird. Why do you want the low level Curse Wit still apply max bonuses even the lowest level? Yes, and lower level is easier to break. If I only have 233 ward to break, and I get exactly the same benefits in every capacity, then yeah. I'll run that. Only need to take one stray hit. Connection re. Come on, man. Grr. Arg. Take Magma Breach. Magma Breach will let me just turn on my Curse Wit whenever I want by standing still for a couple frames. Like if I go get myself in combat, stand still, it's broken. I got the AoE shock dot on the hammer to do good damage. The ability damage part of it, ability damage just doesn't scale that well in this game. In almost every instance, the ability damage sources that do well, are the double dips. So Plague Storm, Geist in the Shell, Play the Angles, those. Blast Chill, Blast Gasp. Those are all ability damage that are defined by another thing. Hey, Assassin Zero. Welcome back. Hope the time off was... Yeah, the time off was great. Much needed. Feeling very recharged. Hope you've been doing well. I don't have to waste to scaling them up yourself, I presume. Just the base damage is too low. You have lots of ways of applying damage to things, but at a certain point, low base damage becomes a problem. With double dipping, you can get that base number way higher on the things it's relevant to. But on something like Barrage or Blizzard or the ability part of Storm Dragon's Judgment or Cleansing Flames, the base damage is too low for you to really get it anywhere. Glad to hear I've been doing okay. Should get better in the next couple months. Finally figured out what to do with my life. Going back to school in the winter to achieve that. Good for you. Good for you. Making an executive decision about your own future, that takes a lot of energy. A lot of guts. Proud of you for doing that. Good job. Quick question. What's the max damage on an Ascended Greatsword? Got 2 yesterday, 24 to 9. I feel like I remember bigger numbers than that. Provided you roll the same parts as a Banshee, provided it can, 27 something. That's provided it can. I don't remember if it can, but 24.99 is max for the high crit chance roll, I believe. So if you got the low crit chance roll, I think you'd get the 2700. As far as I've seen, it can't roll as high as a Banshee, so that might just be the max overall then. Max Banshee is 27 and change. The second highest roll for Banshee is 24.99. I know that much. 27, 26, that sounds right. That would be the Banshee roll. But you can get the 24.99 with 12% crit on a Greatsword, which is something the Banshee can't do. Consolation prize. Need to go for Banshees then. Well, I haven't dropped on Ascended Banshee, no element, no hill for me, Joy. See, the thing about that is even the most disappointing Banshee, provided you get it at Ascended, is still good. Like, Banshee's just that good. It's just our standards for it are so high. Because it can be really good. It's like the worst Banshee, the worst White Rider. Still good items. The worst Sword Explosion. Still good items. Swing speed of the Banshee puts me to sleep. It's not for everyone. I don't mind it. It's cool that both low swing speed weapons and high swing speed weapons can be made competitive for DPS. Pretend like I'm playing Reinhardt. Enjoy the slow heavy hits, makes me feel badass. I feel the same. Try to spell build, climb up to 100. I've not yet, but I have a hard time picturing the likes of Laser Hand not clearing. It's probably still exactly as strong. Alright, we get to bully Wastard. Let's go. Joke boss. Joke boss. Good sniper passives on this. Wastard's hard. He used to be harder. Then they nerfed him 5 times. Because it takes until Chaos 100 to get him back to his old base damage. That's one nerf. They did the whole game-wide wave of boss nerfs a while ago. That's 2. They made his bird heal less. That's 3. They made him spawn the bird less. That's 4. And then they directly reduced specific attacks of his damage-wise in the last week's patch as well. That's 5. They nerfed Wastard 5 times. Set its own battery. Rampage. Low roll on the damage. Pass. Too much IMO. I get fixed in the Aegis cooldown. Yeah, there's a couple things in there that, like, whatever. Making the bird heal a little bit less, I don't agree with, but it's not destructive. Making him be able to spawn it less, sure. I don't think making it so he can't spam it at all was the play, because now it's just barely a mechanic. So Wastard is in the situation where not only does he barely move, he barely does damage, he barely has mechanics, and he barely heals himself. He doesn't do anything. Like, you can shut off his entire remaining kit by pressing your sigil button once. He doesn't do anything. Pain with buff buddies before, but mad otherwise. Moveface, are you aware that you can just destroy buff buddies? Like, that those things have almost no health and you can just blow them up? The entire point of buff buddies is to make things a pain. And they couldn't even consistently do that for him. Pigwort hits harder? Yes. Pigwort and Freezicles are unironically harder than most of the bosses in this game now. Almost all of the bosses in this game do less damage and are less mechanically in depth than Pigwort and Freezicles. Kinda wild. Freezicles wholeheartedly hate him. And it's very simple how Freezicles pulls that off. He's got a problematic resistance, he's got a solid amount of HP, and he moves. Like, Freezicles moves. You know who doesn't move? Wastard. He'll run every once in a while when he remembers all the nerfs. But, like, he mostly just stands there and takes it. It's so sad. It's tragic. Wastard nerfs feel a little like Iron Bear buffs. Pain. Hey, Avi, how you doing? The only one that'll delete my 3 lives. One of my very few complaints is just bosses did not need to be made as easy as they have been made. And I'm not going to say I was right in pointing out that these changes are being advocated for and made for the benefit of people who wouldn't stick around to see them in effect anyway, but like, I'm not gonna say I wasn't right. Imagine if they do Giga Pigwort, please. Please and thank you. That'd be amazing. Imagine you get Giga Pigwort with curses. So like Giga Pigwort and Healing Vengeance is in the mix. So you need to just have your head on a swivel. If there's a heart anywhere, you need to kill it or else, uh-oh. Alright, I got 99 problems and Chaos is 1. Buff Wastard's 3rd phase damage by like 1000%. Yeah, on the skeleton phase, he's just like discount LeChance. It's hilarious. Like, he can't hit you if you just take 1 step back every couple seconds. Like, you just do this. He can't hit you. And even if he does hit you, it's not like he does damage. Like, 2nd phase Wastard is less threatening than LeChance. I repeat mini boss is strange because there's still some that haven't done, like the big shark and Obstacle. Yeah, I wonder why it's a repeat. I hope we do get to see all of them done eventually. Like, whether they do this series of events again, or whether they do a week where they have all of them at once or something. Or whether they buff them up and put them in the chamber, maybe. I would like to see all of them get the treatment of the event. There's been a couple weeks where I haven't taken advantage of the event, because I was on vacation for a couple weeks of it, and then Chaos 100 grinding has taken a lot of my time otherwise. But it is a cool event. And I'm glad they did it. It reminds me a lot of Loot the Universe in BL3. How well received and impactful that event was. And the kind of thing I would want to see as just a feature. Buff the mini-boss, put them all in a chamber for run. I would love to have, like, a gauntlet playlist. Like, one where you do every single obelisk boss in one run. All of them. That would be cool. Like an endurance trial. Fuck it. Do one with every obelisk boss and every boss. The endurance run. Take nasty spell. Miss Hot, fix notes, just rotating the event enemies and the featured. Roddy, that's all. I gotta remember to not get new hot fixes, because I still haven't done Eros Wyvern from last week, but I haven't relaunched my game either. So, once we hit 100, we're gonna go right to Eros Wyvern. Fucking 79 room chamber, literally fucking everything. I'm so down. I'm so down. It would just take an entire stream to do one run. I'm so down though. True Obelisk Rush with all of them buffed? Yes. Like, there's so much they can do with, different chamber formats. They've already done some very cool ones. I just hope they listen to the people who actually are open to chamber experimentation instead of listening to the vocal minority who isn't. Longitude 31 feature take on average. On average, 40 to 50 minutes, maybe an hour if you're like me and you're stopping to talk to people a lot. And that's with, like, eluding rooms for the optimal crystal route. You could get it to like a consistent 30 if you weren't eluding any rooms, weren't going max curses, and just did a beeline. So, average of, I'd say about 50 minutes. 2.5, 3 hour EGRs with everything? Yes. Yes. If the proper gun for 30? Like, actually attempt to go fast. Best way to go with Hammerzerker, new to this combo. Hammerzerker's good at guns, Hammerzerker's good at melee. So, one of those. So, like, the two things that Berserker Tree doesn't give you for gun builds is, gun damage and crit damage. Clawbringer Tree gives you both of those. And it even gives you the good kind of crit, the Shrine crit, which is very uncommon. So, like, it's a very good combo for guns in particular. Good buff, buddies. Try melee first. That works too. Clawbringer's got some good stuff for melee, but doesn't have melee damage. But Berserker has melee damage. And then it also has the old ways for some nice conditional. Berserker's good at freezing things, and frozen enemies take more melee damage. So you could run around with, like, an empowering sigil and bonk things in melee. That'd be pretty good. I love doing that, throwing my hammer past the crystal to break it, and then hitting the enemy that comes out on the recall. Shit's addictive. Oh, my game does not like that much nasty spell happening once. Everything's probably my favorite action skill of the game. It's so cool. The sound design, just the feedback you get when you use it, the subtle mechanics, like it's one of those that has a learning curve to it. You can hit a single enemy up to 3 times with a hammer throw, depending on how you position the throw. And then of course you can hit multiple enemies on both trips. So it really rewards good positioning. And I like that a lot. The gearing for it is very diverse. It's thematic as hell. Love the design of Storm Dragon's Judgment. Feels so weighty? It does. Like swinging my Cleansing Flames through so the hammer hits the crystal. Oh, never mind. Pain. So, like, this build does buff up Cleansing Flames as well. Like, most of the things I'm doing are going to benefit Cleansing Flames too. It's just that it's still rather shit. Like, I'll show you. You come here. So, like, we can one-shot those enemies, but now look at me, I'm on cooldown. And as soon as we get to a boss, that damage isn't gonna really, do much. Let's do it to the crystal. Hey, killed the crystal and, nothing to the troll. Nice cooldown, thank you, I grew it myself. So, like, idea. Berserker got its own enchant for Feral Surge cooldown. Just put one in for Clawbringer for Hammer cooldown. There you go. Guess it's just shy in the winter. Shrinkage. It's a cold pool, okay? Best armor for this build? It's between Mosquito's Mantle and Tyrant's Truth. Close enough so as to, like, there's no wrong answer. I want to try out Corrupted Plate Mail with this build as well. On a hunch. But I'm currently using Mosquito. Tyrant's Truth is also very good, though. Claw would work. I feel like it wouldn't be so bad if it didn't have a cooldown. I mean, it's a long cooldown. It's bad damage. It's an unfavorable element. And the animation lock is real rough. Also, the hitbox for it is tiny. If you're not, like, right here, like, hitting an enemy with it. Okay, so. Right here. If an enemy was right here, they're not getting hit by Cleansing Flames. If they're right here, they're not getting hit by the melee. Here, yes. Here, no. Now, the Nova doesn't do any damage worth noting. Remember we talked about ability damage that isn't a double dip not scaling too well in this game? Well, the Nova's ability damage. So we're not even really boosting it much. But the melee part is only really hitting this and maybe that grass right there next to that. So, like, the hitbox is tiny, the animation is super long, the cooldown's super long, the base damage is rather shit. It's an unfavorable element. Just not a good action skill. It's like every problem that Phase Slam had for Amara, but amplified. Without any of the upsides. Havocs go live again 10 minutes ago. On average. It's the reason you're not taking awe? Am I not taking awe? I have awe from my armor. And I want Executioner's Blade. I still have 3 awe. Just getting from my armor. Because I'm always shooting this gun for crossbolts, every single one of these shots is a potential Executioner's Blade. Because I'm running around with this Empowering Sigil on. See these Novas? Every single hit of every single one of these against every single enemy, if it crits, has a chance for Executioner's Blade as well. Awe is more damage on the things I have. Further investment in Awe, I should say, is more damage on the things I have. But getting Executioner's Blade is another outlet of damage. And Lurkin forgot to say hi, so hi. Hi, Pupty. I hope you're doing well today. Found a shock pickaxe with Ancients, and now my blender got stupid cooldown combined with my Theurge. Nice. Replication of Slam at your worst. Yeah, Paradox. Chaos 100 unlocked. So we can go hit Arrow Wyvern. As I've been meaning to do. Then mess around at 100 for a bit, and then maybe do some Ghostblade stuff. Waiting on a meeting rune? Yeah, that sucks. Been there. A better day, just headache, neck pain, which is the main symptom I get for a week. Well, better is progress, but I'll still fight it. I'm still floored that, splintering ice spikes can get up to, like, a base of, like, 45% crit chance. So then your base of 5, you're an 8 of 5, you just have, with no investment at all, 50% spell crit chance. That's just crazy to me. I was kicking my own ass. Let's go. Another blank slate. Seen a lot of Ascended. That's lovely to see. Seen the hotfix yet? Yes. Just, event and featured rotation. But that's okay, we got a big update last week, so it makes sense. Chaos 100. 4,471% enemy HP, 200% enemy damage, 400% for XP, gold, moon orbs, and loot luck. 0% chaotic, 0% volatile, 48.39 primordial, 51.61 ascended. Let's do it. A better split than Twitch. Oof. Oof. Rune, that was cold. Holy shit, dude. Fuck. That hurt me. I don't know why that's so fucking funny, but it really is. Testing the build and bosses now. Yeah, we're going to Arrows Wyvern now. Base take. Common Rune W. Do I have Sumio's Shrine? I do. I'm just slower than I thought I would be. It's been so long since I've actually hung out in the overworld. I know there's shortcuts and faster ways I could do this, but I felt like running through. The reverse body rune where rune bodies someone else. Still do the Ultra Wyverns? Yeah, I haven't fetched the new hotfix, so. Okay. So which one? Is it this one? Or is it that one over there? Is it the shrine piece one? Which one of these is Eros Wyvern? Hi, Kevin. Hello. You're slamming your head into my head. In the desert, not the oasis. Ah, the desert. Okay.
Do you hear something?
You're the overturned
I think there's a
can.
Kevin near you.
I lost my little morsel.
There is a Kevin near me. And he's a good boy. He's a very good boy. Right, Kevin? I know that's the die. Where's the can? There it is. It's that one then. Oh, is it not this one? I'll just quit out of this one then. I'll just do this. Frames? You good? No? Well, we'll say quit then. That's fine. Listen, I'm petting my cat. I'm using one of my 2 remaining brain cells to pet my cat. What are you doing? Why am I here? The sand one. Okay, I know where that is. Up the slope? Yeah. Okay, I know where that is. Summation point edge. Listen. It's a family stream. It's not. Look at City, go left to look in that direction and left sloping. Yeah. Up here. I remember this one. This one.
The baleful angles of the Vatu language are evident even in their architecture. The walls of Asugol inscribing a rune of power into the very ground. The exact translation is still unclear.
How rare is getting 3 of the same set on spell? Very.
True meaning of Vatu script
And not many things can even triple roll.
themselves, consumed by their work, indeed.
One more for the soul's fire.
It's a really good Universal Soldier. I had to double take. Like, that's a really good Universal Soldier.
Zone of protection. Fingers of death.
Triple cooldown rate, Bolt Lash from Bunny just a bit ago, used all my luck. It's not bad. Bolt Lash is useful for enabling Barba Load. I like it for that a lot. Why am I looking for quartz? I do that every time. I'm like, alright, what's the bonus objective? Where's the quartz? I was a little too close to that.
Thanks for the hug, Dad. Let's do it again soon. Give me something to cast at this instant. No means allowed.
What's my game chugging so much? Maybe my game's simply trying to kill me, so I'm gonna get a very high amount of badass to spawn everywhere. Hmm. Hi, Kevin. He's going under my bed. Alright, here we go. I was gonna go Smithy's Ire, but no, we'll stick with Empower. I'll have to remember to apply Soaked. Ooh, it's tanky. It's tanky. Look at that. Love to see this.
It's my job, not yours.
Oh, there we go. There's the big dot. Are you stuck? You good, homie? I don't know why it decided to just do this, but alright. That's fun. I like that. Definitely faster if I use Smithy's Ire. But not bad. It kind of turned off its own AI, but he loves Wall. Clearly. Cool, that's Super Eros Wyvern done. I'm gonna be honest, I don't care about any of the other ones right now. I wanna go back to the chamber. Stuck in the wall. What are you doing, Stub Wyvern? Hey, wanna kick booty? How you doing? Listen, it's okay. It's not related to the wall. Not by blood.
Come on.
Ah, UI moment. The beefy wyvern? Yeah. Oh yeah, new featured, right? Title screen. This should get me the new featured. Good, thanks. Nice to see you. Nice to see you too. I should full restart game to get
Are
the
you prepared? We'll
new vendors, but meh. How we doing? Doing well, Mr. Adblock. How about you? Is this the new feature? Do I need to restart my game? I don't remember the other one. I only did it like 4 times. Too busy climbing. Vendor should be good. Okay. Malcolm pulling from Spite, Banshee, or Auto Magic. Ooh, hopefully Banshee in the vendor. That'd be amazing. That'd be so nice. Auto Magic in the vendor wouldn't be bad, though. I'm stressing about big move. Going to Texas in a couple weeks. Yeah, travel stress does hit kind of different. Also moving stress. I haven't had big moving stress in a number of years, and I don't miss it. But if you ever need to vent or need a distraction, we are always here for you. Yellow in the first room. Aw. Escape. Can I hit the escape blind? Ha, I hit it. Oh, I downed again. That went horribly real quick. That barrel had more reach than I thought it did. Wait, am I gonna fail the yellow one because I'm dying during it? Has this ever happened to anyone? Hey, Foster. Taking a lunch break and checking out my favorite streamer. Hope you're well. Spread love and everyone who needs it. Very true. I'm gonna fail this because I kept dying. Okay, no, we got it. You imagine. Nullify. Yeah, take Nullify. First C100 run, Nullify? Fuck it. Why not? Nullify plus raid bosses? Why not? Nullify Maker? Fuck it, why not? I never resolved the word situation. But fuck it. Yes, instead of saving Firefriend, I decided to step off its head. I'm built different. Extra life just in case. Scented Blue Cake breaks 6k. Nice. I haven't gotten a high crit carouser in a while. So on the Ascended Blue Cake, on that one it was 4.1k. Launchers used for anything besides Dot Valley? Didn't think about Launchers Wonderlands? Yes. You can, provided you build enough into ammo refund mechanics, you can make big boy rocket builds work. Micro rockets, underbarrels on Stoker launchers are also decent DPS. They don't last long ammo-wise, but they can kill.
Pay me back later, okay?
And then Twisted Delusion is a launcher that applies soaked. That's the most commonly used one. What would be the best crit stat stick to hold while doing spell stuff when I'm currently using as Master at Work Handbow? Great Bow would get the crossbow barrel mult, the Hyperius mult, the sniper mult, and then also the 21% card crit. Carouser can get up to a 33% card crit, while having black powder mult, sniper mult, crossbow arrow mult. So either Carouser or Great Bow. The advantage of Great Bow is you can get different elements. You could have the appropriate element of double knot. Carouser would lock you to a fire double knot. Carouser would also be a good tool for spell weaving, though. And is just a good gun, if you wanted to shoot a gun for whatever reason. Stat stick only applies to double knot critic. Yeah, I'm talking specifically for double knot stuff. Was everything I just said. Someone was claiming a couple weeks ago that they think Queen's Cry was a stat stick for spells, but I'm pretty sure it was just a bad test.
Got another visitor this morning. Want some real damage-free rest, huh?
Is worth looking into, though. Nasty Spill or out damn Dot? Take Nasty Spill. Sounds like bad test, can't say for sure. That's how these things go. The impression that gun card crit applied to general spell crit. No, in this game, they a lot of the redesigns they did to the crit system, they basically eliminated crit swapping for a lot of things with how they've mechanically done this game. Which is cool. Something that people said couldn't be done, but they just went and did it and didn't even brag about it. Never knew shooting the live wire could reload my gun to Universal Soldier. It can't. You have something else going on there. You have either Executioner's Blade happening, or you have a Barbalode equipped, and it's giving you that refund, or you have Warcaster going. But the thing you described is not a feature of the live wire.
See you later, Death.
Buy an ammo capacity just in case. A cool thing about getting so many more crystals is that proportionally you can justify grabbing those altars and stuff a little bit more. Executioner's Blade then? Yep, it would be that. Hey Sora, how you doing? Aww. Thanks, Nullify. Hey, loading screen. How are you? It's Grunt. In 4-player co-op, you get a lot of crystals, can't be damned to manage my inventory, use all my bunny pulls, so I usually leave with the balance. Often, on stream, I'll leave crystals behind. Like, I'm ultimately playing for the gameplay, more than the loot, and I still get enough loot. And I'm like, whatever. Like, I don't need to take everything. Especially now that every drop is more or less relevant. Like, this is a threads with base 18% crit chance. That's so tempting, and I think I'm actually gonna take that. I don't have room to take all this stuff, though. Also, UI is doing UI things. I don't know what to drop because my inventory icons aren't working. I guess I don't need that one. Crit chance, status chance on that one. Alright, I'll be right back. Gonna run to the bathroom so I can, like, focus up and not do these raid bosses on PP%. Alright, me here. That was the patented streamer piss trademark. Still find it kind of shocking that we haven't heard a lot about the UI considering how prevalent it is. Well, I find it shocking that you haven't read notes ever. Literally every single update has had UI fixes as a line in it. Every single major update. If you haven't heard anything about it, you haven't been looking.
Electricity in the air. Welcome to the family.
I overestimated how much time I had there. Unfortunate. Self-made pizza? Ooh, that sounds good. Fair point. I suppose my frustration is that it's super prevalent. It is. But it's one of those things... If it's gonna be a deal breaker for you on the game, then, like, it's a deal breaker for you on the game. It's something I kind of just chuckle about at this point in time. Not much else you can do. Deal with UI. Just want my damn cosmetic drops to improve in the PLCs. Wheels. Just hit the wheel, Tom. If you've done all 4 PLCs on one character, when you hit the wheel, if it lands on cosmetics, you get 10 cosmetics from one wheel spin. Like, the wheel. The wheel is there for that. 'Tis a feature that is in the game. Gives you 2 cosmetics from base game and 2 from each PLC that you own and have done on that character. Oh, not this shit again. Hitboxes. Hey Duke, how you doing? Nice, we have more than 20 lipsticks. I need a cosmetic wheel for, like, IRL. I haven't bought new clothes in a while. And 9 out of 10, you already own Farm the Wheel for months. Yeah, there's nothing to fix there. It's just, there's a lot of cosmetics. They're all weighted equally, and you have a lot of them. Like... There's, what, 80 cosmetics? God damn it. There's 80 cosmetics per PLC in the wheel? Like, that's just gonna happen. Any good frost-based shotguns? Yes. Last Rites is one of my favorites. It's even a blue, it's a quest reward. Sword Explosion can roll in Frost. The Circuitous Gyre can roll in Frost. Torg Body Rockers are great. Oh, god damn it. Let me shoot that. Let me shoot that. Thank you. Yeah, I was worried about Bunny when I first put this together, but, like, it just gets memed. Off topic, I finally beat Chimp's Quiet Street and Bloons, and I'm hyped as fuck, not a fan of that map. Oh, well, good job. There we go. Not bad. I can make that better by having a body rune with an appropriate enchant here. And honestly, a spirit rune with double brimming parts is better. But yeah, it's not bad. And keep in mind that was with lots of curses. We had Nullify, which impacts the Maker quite a lot, actually. Anarchy didn't really help us, because not a gun build. Yeah, Nullify was not bad. Didn't we just have manual transmission recently? Oh no, it's because mine didn't change. Yeah, I need to restart my game to get updated vendors for whatever reason. Like, fetching the new hotfix doesn't do it. Extra projectile on a splintering ice spike. That sounds scary. Like, these things have a base of 26 without crit parts. And they get up to, like, 45 or some shit with crit parts. Shout out to Nullify for ruining my fun. What if, and hear me out, you didn't choose to take it? What if, when presented with a choice of Nullify versus something else, you had picked the other thing? Isn't that just times 5 to times 6? Yeah, but Splintering has the debuff thing. Spells deal 1% increase for each spike stuck on the target. And Splintering hit twice. They're stickies, so they have an impact value and then an explosion value. So going from times 5 to times 6 on a repeating, which is casting, what, 4 times? That's a lot of extra spikes. Only time I ever choose Nullify is if I'm presented with 2 cringe options, like I'll choose Nullify over Toothless. That's a situation to choose Nullify, yes. Keep in mind, any curse room you get beyond the very first one in a run was also your decision. Like, I had all those curses because I chose curse rooms. Almost 30k without eluding. So I didn't hit any crystal containers, except for like 1. I missed a bunch of bonus objectives. I didn't elite any rooms, and I still got almost 30k from that run. You can see Hammer Throw, Chaos 100 viable. Double Radius Cube with status chance? I need to... I don't have enough inventory space. All these drops are too good. Cube. Broken English. Thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate it. How you doing? It's always good to see you. So these things, these concentrated magic barrages were really popular on launch. They got balanced down somewhat early on. That's still good base, and then they get the charge mult. Like, I feel like these are still useful. Just gotta find a situation. Cube, a double radius, so it's wide. Cube. Let's see how wide this is. Yeah, cube is one of those fun things, along with the complex root and the pyroburst in BL3, where you hit enough radius and then it just becomes the whole room. Where's the correct thing? Is it that one? It's not the one I normally use. That's that one. I do need to reroll this body rune. Doing great, how are you? Also doing great. Trying to have a better work-life balance lately. It's, jury's out on how that's working out, but I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time. Magic Barrage for hitting Bunny Gloop weak spots or Spell Bolt for one-shots. Yeah. People were doing, it wasn't even Double Knot at the time, because Double Knot had not been buffed yet. People were doing Blast Gasp boss one-shots. On launch with those. So considering how much more we know now, even with the item itself getting weaker, there's just more tech available and more knowledge. We should still be able to do boss one-shots with those. Work-life balance never. Oh yeah, I didn't check how much money I actually made during this run. Because, your gold income goes up from being on a higher chaos level, but keep in mind, since everything in the vendor is primordial or better, it's all super expensive, so you also spend money really fast. Yeah, I really want more splintering ice spikes. Like this one. Like this repeating one with crit chance, spell damage, extra projectile. Oh, yeah, like this one. Exactly like this one. Specifically this one, in fact. That's really fucking good. That's really good. Hey, Ascended Smithies. Ascended isn't noteworthy anymore. I need to drill that into my head. It's the most common. I still see Ascended, I'm like, ooh, neuron activation. That's why you play Clawbringer in general, because it's strong. Why would I not play Clawbringer? Meeting happened, good things for school help. Let's go, Rune. Or BL3 loot stage now after the Anoint Hero was introduced, where you look for max damage specific parts, and it's a really good place to be. I feel like I can actually get upgrades in gameplay, like this Curse of Malice. Spell charge and cooldown rate, I want that. Wasn't sure if it was that simple or Clawbringer was meta. So meta is a term that people in the lands community, including Borderlands in that, along with Wonderlands, have never actually used properly. Because the things that people will label as meta are things like, if you're familiar with Borderlands 3, these are going to make sense. If you're not, then it's not. But things like the Light Show, the Hellwalker, the Plasma Coil. None of those are meta because there's things better than in every possible situation. Meta in this game is fundamentally uninteresting stuff. It's like Trapscallion with Shrikes and that's it. Like, it's not too spicy, not too complex builds wise. Now there's a lot of stuff that you can make strong, if that's what you mean. There's a lot of stuff you can compete with at a very high level, with a broad diversity of playstyles. New to the series, D&D Element brought me in. Oh, well, welcome in, welcome in. So, like, a very good archetype of builds you can work within is melee builds capitalizing on Stabomancer's Alchemical Agent. So that's one of the biggest things Stabomancer has under its belt. Normally, melee does not play strong dots. You can even look at melee weapons and see, look, 161 dot, 13% chance. That's pretty bad. But Alchemical Agent goes and says, okay, if you crit, you get a dot, and that dot is 10% of what you did. Just 10%. And it's even in a random status effect. So basically, any melee has a real reason to go deep Stabo tree. So we're doing that to specifically apply that tech to Storm Dragon's Judgment, which is one of the best action skills in the game. People like to downplay Clawbringer's strength a lot, but Storm Dragon's Judgment is exceptionally strong. It is one of the few action skills that can be your primary damage-dealing tool. And because it's melee damage, it triggers Alchemical Agent. Storm Dragon's Judgment even hits a target up to 3 times, depending on how you angle it, because it can hit once on the way there, once on impacting a surface and settling, and then once on the way back. So you can get 3 extremely powerful dots on top of the massive damage you did with a hammer throw itself. And it's a fun thing to build around. So that's why I'm playing Clawbringer on this build in particular, for the action skill. But the tree is also good. Oath of Fire is a very good skill, Oath of Thunder is a very good skill, Dragonor is a very good skill, Rebuke isn't, but it's a get down the tree. Firebolt's good, it just doesn't fit this build. Storm Breath is extremely good. Indomitable is extremely good, Awe is extremely good. I'm getting Awe from my armor still. Indomitable, I just don't have the points to get there. And because of the nature of what I'm doing with my ward, I don't necessarily want it to fill back up. Unfortunately, Storm Smite is not very good. Blasphemous Favor is not very good. Radiance Dedication are very situational. And as is Friend to Flame. So people kind of get hung up on these skills, and then they downplay the power of the class because of it. But Clawbringer is very good. You might have seen some people make some misleading content, be it tier lists or class breakdowns, that put Clawbringer towards the bottom, but one, it's impossible to rank best worst in this game in most circumstances without context, right? 2, if you were to, like, absolutely force me to have to rank things, Clawbringer's not at the bottom. Spore Warden would be the weakest overall class, but even then, Spore Warden has things that are within its wheelhouse that allow it to perform better than other classes in certain scenarios. There's not like a worst, best, you gotta get way more specific for that. So there's no wrong answer for classes. That is another reason I like playing Clawbringer, because it kind of defies people's expectations in that area. People have heard a lot of claw bad, claw bad, claw bad, and none of it's ever substantiated, but here we go. Isn't Dreadwood insane with those 10% melee dots? Dreadwood is very good with that, yeah. Anything that can apply Alchemical Agent that has a good base damage going into it is really good. You can do it with Storm Dragon's Judgment, you could do it with Ghostblade, you could do it with Dreadwind, you could do it with your actual melee attacks, you could do it with Executioner's Blade, Smithy's Ire spell does it as well. Maced Wardew's effects, Hammer and Anvil's effect, all of those can do Alchemical Agent. Even shooting Barkenstein's weak spot applies Alchemical Agent, because that's technically melee damage. It's very helpful. Happy to help. Best is a Spore Claw. There you go. I would say Spore Claw is like the least flexible and most awkward multi-class in the game, but it's still absolutely viable. Like, you can still make it work and do well with it. It still has some things that I would consider it as doing better than other classes. Like, there's no wrong answer. Also, I haven't played it in about 6 months. So, if that was your best back then, I want to kick booty, it's only gotten stronger. Clawbringer's gotten a bunch of buffs because people kept downplaying it. And a lot more gear and stuff is available in the game, and we know a lot more about how the game works. So if you were to come back to that build right now, you'd be feeling stronger than you did then. Is that an Ascend Assault battery? Hang on. Rampage again. I keep getting this with Rampage on the low damage roll. That's annoying. Some of this game's done very well. Yeah, class balance is exceptional in this game. There's some classes that have, like, a couple stinkers in the skill tree, and some classes who have, like, why do you have this? This is overpowered. But for the most part, class balance is just good. They're all viable. They all have pros and cons, playstyles, use cases, gear that lends itself more to one class than another. Like, it's a very fun umbrella to play underneath. Wonderland's good? Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Like, level 7 was going to go Spellshot Graveborn, appreciate the general advice on how bad it works in game. Absolutely. Spellshot Graveborn's a strong combo, especially if you were into spellcasting. That's generally considered the way to go for spells. Because it funnels the most damage into the spells themselves. You get a lot of interactions based off of casting spells or hitting with spells. Yeah, if you're into spellcasting, that's a good combo. Ready for Ghostblade gameplay? Yeah, I'll be doing a little bit of that. I'm just trying to look at my loot. There's too much. I don't have the inventory space for this. I really need to just go through my bank and delete a lot of stuff, because now that all the drops are good, I just don't... Fire up eventually once IRL calms down. Life always takes precedence, wanna kick booty. Life always is priority. One Executioner for my spell build, that works. For second class, that class always restricted from the bottom 2 rows. You put points in any class, however I do enjoy spells are great. Yeah, you can invest into your skill tree however you like among the 2 classes you have. So like, I could go down to the capstone on my second class if I wanted to, I just don't want to. You have 44 skill points at level 40 to distribute between your 2 trees as you see fit. You could put them all in one tree, you could evenly split between them. Just note that 44 is not enough to get down to the bottom of each, and that's a good thing. That preserves some build diversity. Is this amount from the new featured? Yes, this was the new featured with a maker run. And curses. I did not elite any rooms. So this could be way higher if I'd elited rooms, done all the bonus objectives, grabbed the crystal containers. Super helpful, appreciated. My pleasure, it's what I do. Myself and the other people here, we take helping out and making new players feel very welcome. We take that very seriously. Happy to have you here. Deathless is trying, it's got HP. Claw Blight. No. Alright. Do some Ghostblade. Wait, I think I had my testing save in the folder real quick. Hang on. Don't mind me. I have a folder inside my saves folder where I keep testing saves, and sometimes I forget to swap back with the real saves. 1 second. Chaos Chamber is the only real in-game content of this. So the way you're phrasing that implies that that's not still a lot. Chaos Chamber is a literal randomizer with so much depth that if you were to do normal runs every day, all day, for years, 24 hours non-stop, you would still not get the same run twice. It's more activities in a clown car than other games have had. And there's different formats of Chaos Chamber run. You have boss runs, which are obelisk and boss runs. You have the regular runs, you have the featured, sometimes have different things going on. Like, instead of being 3 rooms obelisk, 3 rooms boss, it might sometimes be 1 room obelisk, then 1 room, then obelisk, or it might just be, you know, all obelisks. They change it up. So there's a lot of diversity within Chaos Chamber itself. Keep in mind there's also 4 raid bosses that are available at the end of the Chaos Chamber. So if you were to do a full run, you'd have your boss followed by a 4 raid boss gauntlet. So 5 boss gauntlets are pretty cool. Where is my save? Man, I gotta open this to see if this is the right one. More content in Clown Car than Quag's Dragon Age character. Okay, no, this isn't the right one. I'll play on this anyway. Will I? No, actually, that's not the right one. It's the one with the 2. I have too many saves as well. You can see based on this scroll bar. I have a lot of saves for a lot of reasons. Lack of self-control is one of them. Haven't even done a Chaos Chamber run yet, not one. Thought it was pretty much a linear dungeon, a couple bosses, not much to them. Yeah, people like to make it sound like that because it enhances their argument, but Chaos Chamber literally has so many permutations. You could play it. I have almost 1,700 hours in this game I'm creeping up on. And there have been normal runs I've done in the chamber. Like, you go in here, you walk over, you click normal run. There have been runs I've had that I've never seen anything like ever since. Because there's so many combinations between rooms you get, between bonus objectives you get, between curses you get, between blessings you get, between what enemies it gives you, what obelisk boss it gives you, what end boss it gives you, whether or not the raid bosses are available in the run. Between all of that, it creates so many possibilities that the gameplay experience is going to be different run to run. That's just how it is. It's a randomizer. If you've seen the history of say, Borderlands modding community with how much people like randomization, this is that built into the game. There's an argument for more formats. Most people cry it's not Malwin Takedown 2.0. I absolutely believe that more variety would be a good thing. More variety would not hurt anything, as long as it didn't come at the expense of what's already here. But it is endlessly amusing to see people act as if lack of variety is the nail in the coffin for them, when they're the people who literally only did playthroughs, and then maybe, if they had 3 people in the lobby with them, they would brave the Malawan takedown. You know, the same people who would shit on the Guardian takedown endlessly for years at a time and never do it. So they literally only did Malawan takedown in playthroughs. You know, those people complaining about diversity is interesting. It's very interesting. Anyway. Yeah, this is, it's only Chaos 61. I need a pickaxe for this build. Use Rage Handle for now.
Choose, Fate Maker.
Do some boss runs. Still hate seeing people compare Borderlands to Wonderlands. It makes sense, but I think hopefully that point will sink in more as time goes, that they're not the same.
Your shoes off at death's door.
Hope doing well today. A little annoyed with my ISP boom, but other than that, I'm doing great. How are you? Similar, different enough, like cousins? Yeah. Thanks, Rage Handle. So I'm looking out for, ideally I'd want a pickaxe. A 19% crit pickaxe, but a comma would also be an upgrade from the Rage Handle I'm using right now. Also notice some cantankerous people who have too much time and not enough love in their lives do something positive. Other than that, fine. I hate the type. I hate the type, boom. Yeah, my sympathies for whatever you're dealing with.
That's too good for you.
Experience love it, haven't spent as much time as quagging them, done a lot of GTD. I'll help you one run if you like. You're a very kind person, Archimedes, never change. Guardian Takedown's my favorite piece of content in Borderlands, period. Across all games. Absolutely love it. Well, I do want good last gasps. I keep forgetting last gasp exists. And I want to build with it. Can't even play BL3, game's too big, 130 plus gigs. It is a big game. But I'd also like to point out the amusing nature of a lot of people who ask for variety are ones who don't use it when it's there. Once again, it's only Chaos Chamber. Okay, did you ever play Proving Ground, Circles of Slaughter, Guardian Takedown? No? Okay, so how is there less content? This is funny to think about.
I'm the only one who reads around here. Ugh, looks like I'm staying alive. Hey, Steph, go!
That's a reviver. Shame it's not ascended. I was also thinking about, if I can get my crit stats up to a point where I have, like, auto crit on melee, and I can still afford one Demon Blight. Because I'm a Blight Caller and I have Virulence, I have extra status duration there. I'd have such long dot duration that I think I could go through the immune phases of most bosses. Like, by the time the immune phase ends, the dot's just still there. amulet to use. I'm trying to get a good one so far. I've been stuck with purples. I'm using a Barbalode right now, but you have a lot of options. You could use a Theurge for uptime. Barbalode for extra mobbing damage, as I'm doing. Slip and Stun for quality of life, although that does lock you to lightning for your weapon. Purples are fine. The stats matter more than anything, honestly, Paradox. Like, I don't even have fantastic stats here, it just happens to be, you know, almost what I want. Like, the cooldown rate passive here doesn't really do much. I'd rather have status damage passes on this Barbalode, for example. Loved all the BO3 DLCs, the Melon Takedown. Ah yes, all of the BO3 DLCs with 0 endgame content.
Pay me back later, okay?
Reason why I'm being so obstinate about that is because it really annoys me when people pull out the no variety argument. But content variety is literally the only thing I care about other than gameplay. And it's not only enough for me, it's also gotten me at about 1,700 hours in 6 months, which is a lot of time. So, like... Rings important? Do purples work? Purples work. Stats are more important than anything else for amulets, rings, and armor. Paradox. So, like, having the melee damage, the melee crit chance, that stuff means a lot more than having the correct one. Like, I don't even know what this is. This is a championship ring. So, like, I would rather have thumb cuffs here so I'd have an always-on bonus, but this has the right stats, so I just wear it. Need to get a Barbalode for my build, and I'm so unlucky. Yeah, it's unfortunate that it comes from where it does. Have to just kind of allow a Melda into your pool to farm a Barbalode. %, comma. I'm looking for Cryo one with 19% crit chance. I'd even take a Primordial. I only need one ring with crit chance. Does it have to be a double roll? Depends on what your gear looks like. Like, I have an 89.4% crit chance right now. With Frostbite active, it's another 36% of my 19%. So, like, that gets me around 100% crit. So with what I have right now, I don't even need this much crit chance, because there's other things I could do for more crit chance as well. But this is just what I have. This is just what I have. You've got lots of ways to crack that particular egg. And you don't even need 100%. You could just get a high amount and hope for good luck. I just like going to 100% for consistency. It reminds me a lot of doing Stinger builds in BL3, because Novas and Melee can't crit in that game, so the damage values are always consistent. But you don't need auto crits. Just high crit chance helps for consistency. That's all. 1,700 hours is literally 40% of the entire 6 months Wonderland's been in existence. That's crazy. I mean, it is my job. Streaming is my job. And I also enjoy the game, so I play it on my own time, too. Considering Wonderlands has been the game I've done most of my stream content for since it came out. Totals check out. Nova's crit in this game. Anything can crit in this game except for Mosquito's Mantle, Spirit Swarm, Blast Chill, Blast Gasp, and Spore Fuse. Those are the only things in this game that cannot crit. So, yes, Novas can crit. Only ask him sitting at 70% right now. I don't know if it needed to be higher. Going for some crit damage would be better. I mean, damage is more damage. Think about it this way. If you're stacking crit chance and not hitting 100%, remember that not only are you not ensuring auto crits, which is the entire point of stacking the crit chance, you are missing out on damage in every slot that you chose chance instead of damage. So, like, crit chance is nice to have, but at a certain point, if you go all in but don't full commit, then you are just losing damage and not gaining perfect consistency. You're getting more consistency, but not perfect consistency. So, I'd say you're at a crit range that's healthy enough. Maybe totally wrong here, not sure. When shotguns shoot multiple pellets per shot, there's a chance each pellet can crit, or does it crit as entirety, if it makes sense? Only because I could benefit 1,000 cut skill. So there's each individual instance of damage has its own chance of critting. So if you shot a shotgun with 25 pellets, each of those 25 has its own chance to crit or not to crit. Each of those 25 has its own chance to trigger any chance-based skills, like, say, Executioner's Blade or Play the Angles on the ones that do crit, for example. They all have individual calculations.
Are you prepared? We'll see.
Till death I said, die!
Axine proc combo? Yes. Sleeping because of Dragon Age yesterday, only been live for 2.5 hours. I had a disconnect an hour and 20 minutes into stream. Irish. I've been live for 4 hours. My connection's not been very stable today.
I never want to wait again.
Missed.
List phone. Take this.
I don't know why I'm attacking this thing. Crit chance on a fortifying sigil's tempting for Exy Blade. Lorax approved the Evil Dead because I feel like this is copyright infringement. I'm sorry? See, because you're you, I can't be sure if you're talking about actual Lorax and actual Evil Dead.
Death's too good for you.
On something I think's really good, Curse with the Roid part, that is very good. Actual movies.
Reaping.
Recharges threads. An idea that's been floating around in my head for a while is running Sever the Thread with Threads of Fate, but like a multi-charge Threads of Fate. So just plop down a bunch and then Sever the Thread to refresh them all, and then plop down a bunch. Finish Evil Dead was bad. It's one of those things that, cult classic more than actually being good. Why is my game chugging right now? Hello?
Time to put someone in a cast.
I don't even know what happened there. C100 life? It's good, J-Bridge, until we lost all our frames during Redmorn. But this is C61 life. C100 on Storm Dragon's Judgment build, very fun. Very enjoyable. We did a maker run, my very first run on that build on C100. And it went very well.
Habits are hard to break. Rick's on you.
Okay, there we go. That's better. I think Ghostblade might have been hitting multiple heads there, too. Hey, Rorzak. Long time no see. Hope you're well. Mosquito drop in, see spell cooldown, Ashes skill cooldown. That's it. Third wide radius Nova spell in this game. And there's spell radius in lots of Novas, so do it yourself. You can get lots of radius bonuses. You can make lots of Novas cover a lot of area. And one thing leveling is a lot of fun is using ice spikes and just detonating them with melee for a big chunk of damage. The splintering ice spikes, yeah, you can do that. It's a fun time. Think it hits the difficulty sweet spot for you, hungry for more? I think it hits the sweet spot for me for now. I'm sure at some point in the future, I'll get hungry for it again. But for now, yeah, I'm good. Executioner's Blade OP. Executioner's Blade is useful for setups where you are constantly going to be triggering it anyway. So like, for example, in this build, because I'm constantly shooting my Scalawag to apply melee crossbolts to help my Ghostblade's damage. Also, it's poison, so I'm shooting it to apply Bog Down. Also, I'm applying dots with it for Exploit Their Weakness. I'm doing all of those things with it, and any crits I hit are Geist in the Shell. I'm going to want to be shooting it as often as possible. Because I'm placing down a Fortifying Sigil, and that's a spell that ticks very quickly, it also has a chance to crit on any enemies inside, which can also trigger Executioner's Blade. So it's just a passive thing that will happen often that benefits from the things I'm already boosting. I'm already stacking melee for my Ghostblade, so I may as well. Especially because it is only 5 points after Alchemical Agent to do so. And if I was to go 5 points over here in this tree instead, I get less impact. Because Burnt Offering, minimal, Worst Curse, basically nothing, Hex Machina, minimal, Active Decay, basically nothing, Flawless Edge, minimal, compared to the other things available, especially because I have 1,000 cuts over there for a more consistent bonus. Geist in the Shell, I'm not a gun build, so 1 is enough, really. Toxicity, minimal. Restore the Veil, minimal. And I can't get Spirit Swarm and Alchemical Agent at the same time. If I could, I would, but I can't. So Executioner's Blade is very good, and its value has become more pronounced as time to kill has gone down, as enemy HP is increased. The more HP enemies have, the more time Blade has to work. So I run it on both my Storm Dragon's Judgment builds and my Ghostblade build. I even run it on my Dreadwind build. All 3 of those, I run Blade. It's nice for hitting enemies that are out of your reach as well, such as Bernadette, such as Imelda. Go back to Storm Dragon Judgment for a couple runs after this. That'll also remind me to put away one of my extra pickaxes for this build, in case I don't get one. Because as good as the damage on this looks right now, keep in mind that this Rage Handle doesn't have any additional crit damage, whereas a pickaxe would. And a pickaxe also has faster swing speed, which means more ticks. So I can get just better stats in general. There you are. Fuck. Item management. No, I don't need this White Rider on this build. I know, I sold a White Rider. Someone's upset with me. It was necessary. Boss run. Okay, now we're back to C100 for the hammer. Take Magma Breach. Goodbye. Lightning resist, by the way. Gotta go have a good one. Take it easy, Boom. Morning, Vlad. Hope you're well. Slippin' Sun going to Amnesia? No. Good question, but no.
Oh, fired up, are we? Come on.
You haven't seen true power yet. Oh! Oh, I was casting spells when you were just a squirrel in your dad's cage.
This spark plug. Tell Death I said sigh.
There we go. That's just nutty. It's really fun. Power of Alchemical Agent. Shotgun Buddies are really giving gyres last week. Hoping they keep it up. Yeah, I need to get some of those. It's prefix for claw stab armor, no the opposite's duelist. Exclamation point armor. I do not know offhand. Or, actually, I have that equipped. Battlemaster? Battlemaster. Good as a Divergent? Mediocre. Probably doesn't hold up well at high chaos levels. Would have been faster if we didn't get Dragon Lord, but I'll take it. That was driving me crazy to think of it. It's right there, just wasn't coming through. Yeah, I don't really keep track of armor prefixes, so I don't remember any of them. You remember more than I do. I like how efficient boss runs are with the new crystal totals. I might try doing all elites. I usually didn't bother to elite boss runs, but that might change nowadays. Ascended Banshee. Yeah, that's the max crit roll for Banshee. But not max damage. Yeah, because between the change allowing you to do 2,000 pulse, which have a more favorable split, and then we have more loot luck from being on a higher tier, but the boss runs are still taking a comparable amount of time, and we have better splits on chaos tier items. Basically, boss runs got way more efficient for gear farming than they were. Like, disproportionately. Because time spent per crystals acquired. It's really nice. How does the bottom effect on Demon Blight work? If you are affected by a status effect, then everything on the ring gets 50% better for 8 seconds. And then it'll check again in 8 seconds. Then it'll check again in 8 seconds. A Fatebreaker can get 12% crit chance, which is... Like, you can technically get an auto-crit Fatebreaker, I just see no reason why you would. $150 crit on a pickaxe. Nice. Send it salt and battery. Amp. Amp. You can get auto-crit Ragnarok. Maybe the crit stacking stuff that we're doing, maybe that can make Ragnarok not terrible. Copium. Sure, Quag, sure. Let me have this. Looks so cool. It really does. It's a shame it's, awful. Only ever use Ragnarok to get the ranged lucky dice. That is the best use for it. Forgot I meant to, roll my body rune to a better enchant. Where's my fortifying sigil? Not that one, the other one. This one. That'll work. Cool.
Enter if you dare.
Reminds me of this one sword, Skyrim Dragonborn DLC, shoots a beam slash like Ragnarok. Chaos Bug. I was like 74k and it killed. That's not right. Sly Travern good? Yes. A bit ammo hungry. Reload speed's a bit slow, but good damage.
No touching!
Which mode is better? Seems like Tri-Bolt's more effective on sure. I'd say Tri-Bolt. If you had to pick. Dolly Snipers are fun. They are. One good aspect of new updates, you don't need to save Ascended gear anymore. You need to keep rare ones empty your bank. Yeah, since pretty much all gear that drops is relevant to you, you can just take the gear you could actually see yourself using. It's fantastic. Is that a Melda? I can tell by the load time when it's a Melda. Isn't that sad? I know before it happens when it's a Melda.
Go on, Fate Maker.
Hey, storm!
Melda 100's a nightmare. Melda in general is just not my happy place. You could call her my unhappy place.
Looks like I'm staying alive.
Crit Connoisseur, oh no. This is gonna be gross.
Armored up! I did you a favor! Death everywhere!
First time I saw her, I died so many times, just fuck it, I hit and use Pixie to kill her. No shame in that. Theodore, I wanted a fast run. I wanted a fast run, though. Sag.
Don't look so shocked! Zone of protection! Patience! Go!
Oh.
Throwing thunder!
Had to walk through grass taller than me to just find one measly gas service doesn't even work? Oh no. I'm sorry, Paradox.
Save some kills for me, cutie! Come on, hero!
Bad egg would be better here. Is that fire actually still there? No, okay. I was gonna say. Yes, that is my actual strat to go down that specific spot.
I'll make this culling. So you think you're the Black Knight. I'm not dying today. I'm not out of the fight yet. Give me a minute. Loading up.
I messed up my strat there. That was not intended.
Revenge time.
So in case there was any doubt, you could even still do Theodore on a fairly glassy build. Will Claw's hammer throw so much? Me as well. It's incredible. So much fun. I wish the hitboxes on the soul cells allowed you to actually use it to its full extent, but pincushion any good yet? Nope. There's some stuff I still need to mess around with on it, but more than likely still trashed here. Penny Tantrum any good? No.
Finally.
Ascended Gluttony. Found. Can do it, but do we want to? Well put. Sorry about that guy, missed lots of new chaos and... I mean new chaos and... I don't understand the question. Why is Tantrum bad? Its stats are terrible. It's got mediocre base damage, it is locked to an unfavorable element, it's got mediocre attack speed, and then it's got low crit chance and a crit penalty. It doesn't have crit damage bonus, it has a crit penalty. Also, the targeting on its gimmick is terrible. Newly added. You're gonna have to use more words, Platinum. I have no idea what you're talking about. Wish Hamster was good, but nay. Yeah. If it had better, just raw stats, that would do a lot for it, but it's just got the stats aren't good. That crit damage especially is really hitting it. Like, they gave Salt and Battery 200, and then they gave, Petty Tantrum, like, 96 at best. It's very frustrating. 90 Chaos 90, right? Never knew one up. There was a patch last week. They overhauled the Chaos system, and now it goes up to 100. And that includes a lot of positive changes for the health of the game, including better farming, better difficulty scaling overall, more optional difficulty options for people who want that. You spend less time looting and more time getting loot. They did some balancing changes that helped the game overall. It's a good update. You haven't been here? Yeah, no, I just didn't know what you were talking about. Yeah, last week was a patch. It goes up to C100 now. They spread out enemy damage increases to take longer. So basically, new C100 has the same enemy damage as old C50. Enemy HP goes up to much harder than old C50 for people who want that challenge. But Top Gear is still Ascended, so you only need to get to 50 for that. And they updated the catch-up mechanic, so you get 5 tiers per trial now. So it only takes 10 runs to unlock max gear, which is faster than any previous Chaos cap. They also made it so at 50, you no longer get non-Chaos tiered items at all. At 64, you no longer get chaotic items. At 75, you no longer get volatile items. And then at 100, you have a 51.6% chance of getting Ascended. So Ascendeds are your most common drops at max difficulty. But you can still get max gear all the way down at Chaos 50. Additional Chaos tiers also means you have higher loot luck at those tiers, meaning better drops in general. Dedicated World Bunny, however you want to phrase it. All the drops are just better. They balanced Spellblade and Mosquito to a point where they're no longer batshit insane, and they're just reasonable items in the game. It's a good update. Curse of Malice good? Yes. 2,000 crystals per bunny too. Yeah, that goes under the category I mentioned of more time spent playing rather than looting, because you can just hold down the button. And not only is this more loot per pull, but it's at a more favorable split than doing 4 pulls of 500 would have been. Basically, last week's patch just made the game better. Everything good about the game got better, is the shortest answer to that. And I'm very happy about that. Easier to gear up. More room to push your builds. Better game balance as a whole. It's good stuff. Grind's real but enjoyable? Yeah. You can actually feasibly plan around, like, specific rolls of items now. Like, if you wanted an Ascended Greatsword with 12% crit chance and a specific hilt mod, well, that's reasonable now. Pretty much all gear that drops is now relevant to you. Just something that, I didn't know I wanted as badly as I did until it happened. Like, I just enjoy looking through gear now. Didn't before. If that Sunder didn't have status damage, I would take it. Oh well. It's Spell charge, extra projectile, and an ascended Wicked Gossip. Look at that damage. That's insane. Wicked Gossip is so strong. I still haven't properly messed around with it with Polymorph. I gotta do that. There's a bunch of Polymorph tech I've been meaning to try. Hey, Hola. Been lurking and dying in Overwatch 2 with friendos. Overwatch 2 is something I've considered dipping my toe into, but I don't know if I want to go back to, like, PvP FPS stuff. I'm more mellow in my old age and retirement from that sphere of gaming. Do one more boss run. Your new friends can't believe they say game's worse since they added Chaos 100. A lot of people wheel out that talking point, Arconium. They don't have any actual arguments. Like, a bunch of people have said that, and the reason why your friends have that argument is because they were told to have that perspective by certain people acting in bad faith. But, like, I've yet to hear a single decent argument for how the patch made the game worse. The patch made everything about this game's endgame better. Like, everything about the endgame is better. It's the same games, different maps, new heroes, characters been changed in some ways, others are the same. Yeah, I never actually got into, Overwatch 1. Any of my knowledge about the first Overwatch is by osmosis from friends. Because when Overwatch first came out, there were a bunch of people in my, at the time, friends group who were pushing me hard to play it, and I just didn't have an interest. So eventually I got soured on it before I even had the chance. So then later on I was just like, eh. But I'm open to giving it a chance. Hey, K6, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. Oh no, this was the one more run. I guess we're doing more. But howdy, howdy, howdy. How's everybody doing? Love to see the donks. How'd stream go? What'd you get up to? Are you still doing sniper modes? I really like sniper modes. Are you a believer in the boogeyman? Serious question. Friendship depends on it. Thank you so much for bringing people over here. Those of you who don't know me, I'm Quag. I do build stuff in Lands games, and I'm doing hammer throwing in Wonderlands right now. It's a good time. Just got it today. Love it. Boogeyman is... something about it just scratches that part of my brain. Like, it's... I love the Boogeyman. I could gush about it for a while. Not one, but two today? Let's go. There's the alert. Little late, aren't you, Torg? So I need Redmorn to land here. So I'm doing some Chaos 100 boss runs on my Clawbringer. This is a Storm Dragon's Judgment build, and it hits very hard. The only thing is hitting some bosses is awkward. So we landed a hit on Redmorn there. There we go. Oh no, I'm stuck. Step, Redmorn. I think he ate me. Let me out. There we go. Yeah, I've just been enjoying how, since the latest patch, getting gear in this game is just easier. So, like, I'm normally a guy who plays this kind of game for the gameplay, but I've just enjoyed getting gear upgrades as well. Got a raid and run, take Mama 6 to a doctor's appointment. Okay, do the thing, do the thing. Thank you so much for bringing your people over here, K6, I appreciate it. And Steve-O, thanks for taking care of K6 with the sub. Snipers in BL3, Craigasm, for sure. Snipers in that game slap. I like Redmorn. It's a very rewarding feeling when you survive all those attacks and can capitalize on this opening.
Time to put someone in a cast.
Don't hit me with that, that's bad news. There we go.
Fired up, are we?
Am I really intrigued in this game right now? Because there's lots of stuff to do. Lots of builds to craft. If you're big into experimenting with different gear... Ooh, that's a good sled driver. I don't have inventory space. See, there's so much good gear that my bank is full, my backpack's full, I have no self-control. Yeah, there's lots of builds to be made in this game. I personally really like the melee stuff, so that's what a lot of my playtime has been focused around. I think there's lots of colors, that too.
So glad you respawned. I'm the only one who reads around here. Oh, that'd make it all worthwhile.
There we go. Might be a little hard to tell what's happening, but basically, our hammer throw is strong enough to one-shot bosses. Now, Redmorn was a little tricky on that last room because elemental resistances. That's a good protagonizer, but I don't have inventory space. Inventory management, the bane of all looter RPG games, for sure, Bishnar. I am not good at that. Ooh, Zomboss. Good opportunity for build showcase.
Again. Now.
So we hang out here. Please hit me. Just throw one hammer and we're good.
Like an outlet.
And my sigil spell is freezing all the enemies around me. So I get to shatter them. Just a fun setup. Kind of wizardy math happened here. I can go over the build at the end of the run, if you'd like me to. Imelda. I don't want to do Imelda. So I'll go over the build now. Don't forget Clawbringer. Some people don't think Clawbringer is good, but Storm Dragon's Judgment is incredible. Sip of coffee before I talky for a bit. So, Storm Dragon's Judgment. This action skill is amazing because not only is it one of the shortest cooldown action skills in the game, it hits very hard. It counts as melee damage. It can hit enemies up to 3 times. You can hit once on the way there, once when it impacts and settles, and then once on the return trip. So, proper angling, you hit an enemy with a super big melee hit 3 times. An important thing to remember with melee anything is they are in part determined by the crit stats of your equipped melee weapon. So this pickaxe has a base crit chance of 21% and crit damage of 130%. Now that 130 is a multiplier to all of my melee crit damage, whether it comes directly from this weapon or not. And this crit chance establishes the base. Yes, Kat, I'm explaining. So you have a base of 5% crit chance with everything that you do that is capable of critting in this game. To calculate your base melee crit chance, you take that base of 5, and then you add it to your equipped melee weapon. So I have a base of 26%. Then all of my crit chance increases come in. So I've stacked enough that out of combat, my final crit chance is 90% for melee. In combat, that goes up to 100%. So I have guaranteed crits with melee attacks, which means anything that, not only do I get the damage perks of that, anything that triggers on crits always happens. So I always get Stabomancer's Alchemical Agent status effect on every single melee hit I do. Because Storm Dragon's Judgment hits up to 3 times per target, and
I believe there's a Kevin near
can be made to hit very hard with math and stuff, we can apply a bunch of very powerful dots with every single hammer throw. So that's why we hit Zomboss, it did a chunk, but then the dot just killed her. Because we had this, and anytime I apply an Alchemical Agent dot, I also have a chance to apply a Contagion dot, 24% chance of applying a half strength dot. So essentially, with perfect RNG, on every hammer throw, I could be applying one status effect of every element to the boss, and then it could just die. So I have a lot of dot damage in my build because of that. Using math, we can kill stuff with a hammer. It do be like that, some RB guy. Math is amazing. Math is the most destructive thing in these games. So, stack a bunch of crit chance, throw hammer, do big damage. I've also got a lower level Cursed Wit, so I'm very glassy in this build, but Empowering Sigils are great because they're a protective barrier that follows you around. See this bubble around me? Any projectiles that hit this do not hit me. And it's far enough away from me that even splash ones won't end up hurting me. And periodically, every second, a Nova comes out, which you can see there. And this Nova is the highest status effect offered by any spell in the entire game. So not only does it do good damage over time, but if you're using a Cryo Empowering Sigil, it guarantees a freeze on any enemy in the radius that can be frozen. And frozen enemies take massively more damage from melee. So not only is this sigil protecting me, it's also setting me up to do a lot more damage. So I can afford to get away with things like a really tiny shield, because I've got it's almost like Zane's barrier in BL3. You know, stuff can't get through, so you can afford to be a little squish. Mass is mightier than the sword, isn't that how the saying goes? You know it, Denansador. You know it. How you doing? Always good to see you. The reason why I'm using those tasers there is because they can trigger Sabomancer's Executioner Blade Capstone. So, you'll see these little purple swords hitting all these enemies getting electrocuted. It's nice for when I don't feel like going and punching everyone individually. But thanks, how are you? Having a blast. This is what I meant before about how gear that drops is just more frequently relevant to you now. On Chaos 100, not only is loot luck higher, so dedicated drops, world drops, bunny drops, all that, you just have better odds. But now that the only Chaos tiers in my pool are Primordial and Ascended, every drop is relevant. So you can actually feasibly target something like a ring now and be like, okay, I want these passives on it. And you're not going to have to go through the whole rigmarole of first you got to get the drop, then you got to get the right tier, then you got to worry about having the right ring type, then you got to worry about the passives. You don't have to worry about half of that as much as you do anymore. And it's great. As someone who really likes the gameplay loop of do a run while you think about how to refine a build, oh, that's an upgrade, I can slap that on that build. And that's just how I consume these games. It's good to just be able to casually get potential upgrades here. Like, this ring is good. Ability damage, ability crit chance, action skill duration are all relevant to a Plague Storm build, for example. That sounds really good for that. And pistol mag size is good if your primary tool of doing damage is something like a Gluttony and Auto Magic. Championship ring is a good ring variant because it gives you damage where you need it the most, bossing. Unfortunately, I don't have inventory space, so I'm going to leave that on the ground for now and Probably pick it up from my lost loot, if anything. Crit Connoisseur. Okay, we're gonna bully whatever boss this is. Theodore again. Theodore takes too long. I want a faster run. It is faster to reset and get a different boss than it is to do Theodore or Dragon Lord. Dragon Lord I'll tolerate because I like the guy.
Enjoy your vacation.
Rather do Chums? I mean, yeah, because Chums is fast. I just rarely get Chums. Melee Gaming, hey son. Yep, dot. Melee damage, melee crit chance, melee crit damage. That's really good. I hate not having inventory space. The only reason I'm leaving this stuff behind is because I don't have room. I'm gonna have to spend some time after stream today fixing that. I have max inventory upgrades? Yes. Hi from last night's finally died down. Not to actually be productive. Mood. Hit me. Hit me. Thank you. I missed. Feels so bad. Quag sip. That's, mixed messages. Are you okay? I don't know if that's a shitpost or not. Well, Kia Soul Ricard's done more off-roading the past week than ever should. Ah, okay. Which build is this? This is the hammer throw. We're C100 Hammer Gaming. Nope, I want higher crit on a Krauser. Like true gamers hate the games they play, it also themselves. Sorry, I only hate myself. I don't hate the game. Not a true gamer confirmed. Truly a tragedy. Celissa has massive lightning resist, by the way, and we just did that with lightning damage.
It set someone on fire day. Like you missed that, right?
So someone asked earlier why Petty Tantrum is bad. Let's just look at these stats. Alright, it's Force non-elemental. The swing speed is barely faster than that of a Banshee, while it has half the damage of a Banshee. Yes, half. The crit chance, 16%. Decent, but not as good as something like, say, a Twin Soul, or a Pickaxe, or a Rage Handle. And then the crit damage is less than 100, which is bad. Like, if it's less than 100, it's bad. And then the Petty Tantrum effect itself, every other melee attack create 3 to 5 tantrums under nearby enemies. Each tantrum deals 150% melee damage. The targeting on those is bad, the amount you get is inconsistent, and it is not present in single target. This is a weapon that I would really want to see get some positive attention in a balancing pass. It has not really ever had a use case, even compared to other weapons that came out or were buffed around its time. Just, nah. Not great.
Are you prepared? We'll see.
Let's do a few more. I'm trying to get some more footage of, like, Wastard, because I like bullying Wastard. I also haven't gotten Drill at all today, come to think of it. Chat, have I gotten Drill a single time today? I don't remember.
This is what I was made for.
I don't think so? Whoopsie.
Patience into dirt. Twice here. Dad! Fingers of death.
Got Imelda like 4 times. A lot of Imelda, a lot of Theodore. No Drill. Banshee. I'll take Banshee. Does left shark bow roll melee crossbolts? No. Gun only.
People like to death when it's here. Or else. Lay down.
Oopsie. Got myself with water. Yeah, not only am I playing a status effect build, I'm playing a very glassy status effect build. So I get even a whisper of a dot on myself. I am super Omega dead. Like, one tick of my dot is more than my entire combined health pool by many times. Might still be worth running on Savmatic setup over Frostburn, just having the access to Barbload would be good. Yeah. Can't argue with that. Aw, it's because I missed. Won't take Murder's Generations.
Let's go wreak some havoc.
Some of that Carolina Reaper water.
No touching.
Something else we did today, did my first Maker run at C100, that's, doing the gauntlet of 4 raid bosses in this game. Did my first run at C100 on this build, and it actually went way better than I thought it would. I still need to, in a perfect world, change up my, ward and run something else there, but it went well enough. I think I can optimize it better, though, so something I'm gonna work towards as I get comfier playing C100 on this is, try to get some raid boss speed kills with hammer throwing. I think that's something people would like to see. How good is Head of the Snake? Not really. It doesn't hurt you, but it really barely helps you at all. Like, Hydra duration is just kind of a non-factor as a stat. Oh, I didn't get the face skip.
I did you a favor. Trust me. Yes, bleeding was so awful.
You have
Loading up.
feel before your dragon horn.
Step is so proud of me.
Does Hydros get companion damage? Head of the Snake doesn't give you Hydros. Irish. It just increases the duration of existing ones you have. But all Hydras do get companion damage in the conditional category, yes. I think of another armor. There's no armors that give you companions.
One more for the soul fire.
I know I said one more 3 runs ago. Actually, one more. I have too much fun hammer throwing, and I still want a Wastard run. And or a drill run. The real one more. Yeah. The real one more. Is Contagion still worth the points now? Absolutely. Reason why Contagion is still good is because the new dot applied by Contagion still double dips status damage. So I have in this spec with everything rolling, I have about 220% status effect damage. Contagion will look at any dot I apply and go, okay, the base of this is half of that. But that new dot then gets that 220% again. So it'll take half of my alchemical agent and be like, all right, here's 50% times 224%. So it's still more damage. And it also, in multi-target scenarios, it distributes your single target into multi-target. And because it is above the tree in Stabomancer tree, above alchemical agent, it's still the most efficient way to get there. So even if it wasn't good, you'd still take it. But it is good. You can still use it to turn a 1 mil dot into like a 5 mil dot.
Are you prepared?
It just no longer turns like a 1 damage dot eventually into a 5 mil dot. You need a good dot to start with, but it is good.
Finally, a sigh of relief.
Dragon Lord again. Got the phase skip that time. Pandemisi made it good? No. Question mark? Huh? Huh? Huh?
Spell death, I said. Sigh.
Okay. That was weird. That was very strange. Literally too much damage, the game can't handle it. Hammered him so hard he skipped a phase. He skipped an animation. It was, odd. Thought it'd be decent with Blight Caller? Why? What would make it decent? That's the thing you need to think about when you're build crafting. If you form an association between an item or an effect with a class, you need to inspect why you think that is. Was it the word poison? Because that's not enough. Because Blightcaller is not a poison class for the same reason Berserker is not a frost class. And Graveborn is not a dark magic class. It's not a thing. It's not enough to go on. Imelda? Imelda. One more non-Imelda run.
Choose, Fate Maker.
Use for utility in a Blade Caller, repair Nemesium plus Contagion is all the dots for all Blight skill stacks. It can be used for utility purposes, but in my opinion, you are giving up a very valuable armor slot when you could just achieve the same result elsewhere in your kit. It's my personal opinion. Pigwort, the real raid boss.
Looks like I'm staying alive.
Parasite. I can deal with that. Real raid boss is the friends we made along the way. Want to grab that Slide Trivern, but I don't have room. I do not have room. This also serves as a good showcase for anyone worried about enemy damage in this game at the max difficulty. Well, you're looking at it, and I'm running around on a build with 3,000 HP. Surviving enough to kill everything. You just gotta build some healing into your kit. And make sure you have enough damage to get up when you absolutely need to. Nullified does impact this build pretty thoroughly. Hey, Wastard. We're not going to be able to bully him as hard as we normally do, because we did just take Nullify. But bullying Wastard is, like, my favorite pastime. You're still alive over there? Come here. I blame Nullify. Day ruined. Literally unplayable. This lethal catch is trying. Melee damage, melee crit damage. It's good. Shame about the gun stuff. Nightmare. Okay. No drill today. But I'll accept it. I hope they fix this loot pile. Nightmare still drops in a very neat pile with everything perfectly ordered, standing up the way it needs to. It's cute, but I hope they fix that. So I'm considering building my Berserker around Frost Melee since Melee does 300% damage to frozen enemies. Is that worth it too specific? Absolutely relevant. I'm using that tech in this build. My Sigil spell is freezing enemies, so in mobbing, I can get that huge advantage, and it really does help me set up in mobbing. Now, that's not really going to be as relevant against bosses, but it's good in mobbing. So yeah, worthwhile. Empowering Sigil. If you can get a Cryo Empowering Sigil, that's your best bet for freezing things. Very respectful. Yeah, Nightmare's just kind. Making sure it doesn't make a mess. But yeah, so I had to grab some food. Also, use the bathroom and stuff. Also, I'm tired. I need to take a nap. Old man hours. But that's going to be it for today. Anyone who stuck around from K6's raid, I appreciate you. I hope you had a wonderful time with my scuffed internet connection and some fun build crafting with this. As for everyone else, tomorrow I haven't decided yet if I want to do more of this. I still have a ton of builds I need to go through. There's a lot to do in this game. I haven't decided if I want to do more of this or continue the Dragon Age series playthrough. But I guess, as usual, I'll decide 5 minutes before stream, so we'll see what happens. Let me find some place for us all to go. So we could do a raid. See, Perix playing some Alien Isolation. Pascaroni's on Wonderlands. Mr. J's just chatting. It's 2-year streamiversary. I don't know how long he's been on though. Yeah, let's just go over to Lazy. Just go over to Lazy. I'll be there anyway. I gotta pick his brain about some build stuff. And I don't get to catch as many of Lazy's streams as I used to, because conflicting schedules. But yeah, let's say hi to Lazy. If you like high-level gameplay in this game, he's even better at it. Do Quag Chads for the raid message, if you got him. If not, just throw raid or whatever. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful... My stomach's growling loud. You guys hear that? Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And as usual, I'll be live tomorrow morning, 9:30-ish a.m. Eastern. But yeah, I got build stuff to work on. Working on Wonderlands build stock, etc., etc. Also playing Cyberpunk off stream because I'm addicted to that game more and more every day. So time management is not the name of the game. I hope you are better at it than me. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye. Thanks for all the support.